All right, so today we're diving deep into a book that's become a bit of a modern classic for getting your finances in order.
Yeah.
I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi.
Mm,
And whether you consider yourself pretty savvy with money already or you're just starting to figure things out,
yeah,
I think there's something in here for everyone.
absolutely.
So to kick things off, what is it about Sethi's approach that makes this book stand out from all the other personal finance books out there?
Well, I think one of the most refreshing things about Sethi is that he doesn't just focus on like the nuts and bolts of budgeting and saving.
Yeah.
He actually digs into the psychology of money, like how our mindset and our beliefs can either hold us back or propel us forward.
Right, because it's so easy to get caught up in those like little frugality tips,
Right.
clipping coupons and stuff. But Sethi actually argues that being too focused on saving tiny amounts can actually backfire.
Absolutely. Like he has this great analogy in the book.
Mhm.
Imagine you're so busy, like you said, clipping coupons,
Yeah.
that you miss out on a chance to negotiate a raise at work.
Yeah,
You might be saving a few bucks on groceries, but you're leaving serious money on the table in the long run.
totally. So it's kind of like shifting from a scarcity mindset where we're like,
Oh,
freaking out about every penny to more of an abundance mindset
that's
where we're
right.
focused on, our earning potential and our opportunities to grow.
Right, and that's where his concept of conscious spending comes in.
Ooh, I like that.
It's not about deprivation.
Mhm.
It's about aligning your spending with your values, like what truly matters to you.
Okay, so how does that actually work in practice?
So he talks about this FEFTA 105 split,
Okay.
where 50 to 60% of your take-home pay goes towards fixed costs,
Mhm.
your renters, utilities, things like that.
Good essential.
Exactly. Then 10% goes towards investing and 5 to 10% to savings.
Okay, so then what about the rest?
Well, that's where the fun part comes in. You get to
Yeah.
spend guilt-free on the things you absolutely love.
So if travel is my thing, yes, I can just allocate a chunk of my budget towards that awesome trip I've been dreaming of.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Or if you're a foodie, you can splurge on those gourmet cooking classes you've been eyeing.
That is dangerous.
Right.
But I love it.
Hmm.
Okay.
It's about enjoying your money
Yeah.
and not feeling restricted or deprived.
I am already rethinking my entire budget. But
Yes.
before I spiral, let's get back to Sethi's 6-week plan
Okay.
he lays out in the book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to kind of walk through it step by step.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic framework,
Yeah.
and it all starts with mastering your credit cards in week 1.
Ooh, credit cards, always a bit of a scary topic.
Well, Sethi's not afraid of credit at all.
Okay.
In fact, he argues that it can be a really powerful tool for building wealth
Mm-hmm.
when used strategically.
So it's not about cutting up all your cards and swearing off credit forever.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Exactly, all of that.
Okay, but he's obviously cautious about falling into debt.
Oh, absolutely. He stresses paying off your balance in full every month
Mm.
to avoid those crazy high interest rates.
Right. It's about being in control
Yes.
of the credit, not letting it control you.
Exactly.
Got it. So then what happens in week 2?
Week 2 is all about finding the best high-yield savings accounts
Okay.
so you can make your money work harder for you.
So this is where things get a little bit more technical.
You'd think so, but Sethi actually keeps things surprisingly straightforward.
Okay.
He explains things like money market accounts,
Mm-hmm.
online savings accounts, all the different options,
Yeah.
and helps you figure out which one aligns with your specific goals.
So even if I'm not a finance whiz, I can still wrap my head around this.
Absolutely. Sethi is all about making personal finance accessible and empowering,
I love that.
no matter your background.
Awesome. Okay, so week 3, we touched on this a little bit earlier, but I'm really intrigued by this conscious spending plan. Is it as liberating as it sounds?
It really can be. Remember that 50105 split we talked about?
Mm-hmm.
The beauty of that is that the remaining portion of your income is yours to spend guilt-free on whatever brings you joy.
So it's all about making intentional choices
Yes.
with your money and not feeling restricted or deprived.
Exactly. And that brings us to a key element of Sethi's plan automation.
Week 4, this is where things start to get really interesting.
Yes.
He calls automation his secret weapon, and I'm dying to know why.
Well, think about it. How much time and mental energy do you spend each month just managing your finances?
Oh my gosh, so much.
Paying bills, tracking spending, transferring
Yeah.
money between accounts. It could be exhausting.
It's like a part-time job.
It really is.
Right.
And automation takes all that mental effort out of the equation.
Okay, so you set it up once, and then your money just kind of works for you in the
Right,
background.
exactly. Almost like magic.
Wait, so you're telling me I could potentially have my bills paid, savings goals met,
Yes.
investments growing, all without having to lift a finger?
That's the power of automation. Imagine what you could accomplish if you didn't have to constantly think about managing your money.
I would finally write that novel.
There you go.
Okay, I'm starting to see why Sethi's so obsessed with automation.
Right.
It's like a financial superpower.
It is.
Okay, but before we get too carried away, let's hear about week 5,
Okay.
investing. Now, this is where things can get a little intimidating.
Yeah, a lot of people think investing is only for like Wall Street experts,
Right.
but Sethi breaks it down in a way that's really approachable, even if you're a complete beginner.
So he like demystifies the whole process.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be a stock picking genius to build wealth.
Well,
He recommends investing in something called index funds.
yes, he's a big fan of low-cost index funds like the S&P 500.
Okay.
Basically, it's a way to invest in a diversified portfolio of companies without having to pick and choose individual stocks.
So instead of trying to time the market,
Right.
which is notoriously difficult, you're basically betting on the long-term growth of the overall market.
Exactly. And one of the most important takeaways here is that time in the market beats timing the market.
Ooh, I like that.
Starting early and staying consistent is much more important than trying to predict the perfect moment to buy or sell,
That is a game changer.
I guess.
So what about retirement accounts, like
Yeah.
401ks or IRAs? Are those a good place to start?
Absolutely. Sethi walks you through all the ins and outs of these accounts,
Okay.
explaining how they work and how to make the most of them.
This is making me realize I might be missing out on some serious opportunities to grow my wealth.
Well, the good news is it's never too late to start.
Okay, good.
And Sethi's book is a fantastic guide to help you take control of your finances
Awesome.
and build a rich life on your own terms.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground already from credit cards to investing,
Here we have.
but we're not done yet. Week 6 is all about negotiation, and I have a feeling this is where Sethi really shines.
He does. He's a master negotiator, and he believes that this is a skill that can pay off big time,
Yeah.
both in your personal and professional life.
So we're not just talking about like salary negotiations here.
Nope. He provides scripts and strategies for negotiating everything,
Wow.
from your salary to your cable bill to even buying a car.
Wait, so you're saying I can actually negotiate a lower cable bill?
You can.
I'm already hooked.
It's impossible.
But seriously, how does he make negotiation feel less intimidating?
Well, he reframes it as a collaborative process, not a battle.
Okay.
It's about understanding your value, clearly communicating your needs,
Yeah.
and finding solutions that work for everyone involved.
So it's not about being pushy or aggressive.
No.
It's about like confidently advocating for yourself
Exactly.
and knowing your worth.
Yes.
I love that.
And remember, the worst they can say is no.
True.
But you'd be surprised how often you can get a better deal
Yeah.
if you're willing to ask.
This is giving me a whole new level of confidence. I'm feeling ready to like tackle my finances head on.
That's the spirit. And remember, personal finance is a journey, not a destination. It's about making continuous progress and adjustments along the way.
Well, we've just finished the first leg of our deep dive into Sethi's 6-week plan,
We have.
and I'm already feeling inspired to make some changes.
That's great to hear, and we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
There's so much more to unpack in Sethi's book.
I'm ready.
Good.
Welcome back to our deep dive into I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Before we went to, the break,
Yeah.
we were talking about negotiation. That's week 6 of Sethi's plan
Right.
and how it can really like make a difference.
It's a skill.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people underestimate.
Mhm.
We kind of think of it as something like, aggressive CEOs do.
Yeah.
But Sethi argues that everyone,
Mm.
from, recent college grads to seasoned professionals,
Yeah.
can really benefit from honing those negotiation skills.
He even provides scripts in the book to like help people feel more comfortable, actually asking for what they want.
Mm.
One of the things that really struck me was his advice on negotiating a salary raise.
Yeah.
He actually says that you should be prepared to walk away if your employer doesn't meet your expectations.
That's a bold move.
Yeah.
And it might not be right for everyone or
Right.
for every situation,
Yep.
but it really highlights, I think,
Yeah.
his point that you have more leverage than you think,
Okay.
especially when you've done your research
Mm.
and you're confident in the value that you bring.
Yeah, he also emphasizes the importance of timing.
Yeah.
Don't wait until like your annual review to like bring up a raise.
Right.
Instead try to initiate that conversation after you've had like a big win or completed a major project.
Exactly. You want to
Awesome.
be able to showcase your contributions
Mm-hmm.
and demonstrate how you're exceeding those expectations.
Yeah, and like don't be afraid to quantify those achievements.
Yeah.
Did you increase sales by 15%?
Exactly.
Did you streamline a process that saved the company money?
Mm-hmm.
Those are powerful talking
Those
points.
are the things you want to bring to the table.
That's so smart. I'm definitely going to keep that in mind for my next salary negotiation.
And remember, too, it's not always just about like getting more money.
Yeah.
It can also be about, getting what you want in other areas of your life.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to negotiate a better rate on your car insurance
Mm,
or get a lower monthly payment on your student loans.
right. Like there are so many different areas where these skills can come in handy.
Exactly.
Mm.
Sethi provides frameworks for all sorts negotiations.
It's amazing
It really is.
how many areas of our lives, this skill can actually impact.
And once you start seeing those results, it can almost become addictive
Yeah.
because you realize that you have this power to shape your financial reality,
Mm.
you know, rather than just accepting what's given to you.
I love that. Okay, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts on something that Sethi talks about a lot in the book. This idea of like designing your rich life.
Yeah, this is one of the most profound aspects of his approach, I think.
Okay.
It's about really shifting away from those like external definitions of wealth and success
Yeah.
and focusing on what truly matters to you as an individual.
So it's not about keeping up with the Joneses or
Right.
striving for some like arbitrary standard
Yeah.
of financial success.
It's about creating a life that actually aligns with your values, your
Mhm.
passions,
Hmm.
and your aspirations.
Yeah, so it's about asking yourself like some deep questions.
It is.
What kind of life do I want to live?
Right.
What are my priorities? What brings me joy and fulfillment?
And once you have that clear vision
Yeah.
of your ideal life, then you can start making financial decisions that actually support that vision.
So it might mean like prioritizing travel experiences
Yes.
over material possessions or choosing to live in a smaller home so you can pursue your passion project.
Exactly. There's no right or wrong answer here.
Oh, wait.
It's about creating a life that feels really authentic and meaningful to you.
And that's where I think Sethi's emphasis on conscious spending comes in.
Yes.
It's about aligning your spending with the life that you actually want to create,
Exactly. Remember, it's not about deprivation.
right?
It's about making those intentional choices with your money.
Sethi actually encourages people to spend extravagantly on the things they love
Yes.
and cut costs mercilessly on the things that they don't.
Precisely.
I love that it's about giving yourself permission to enjoy your money
Yes.
without guilt or shame,
Mm-hmm.
as long as it aligns with, your values and your goals.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people struggle with that
Yeah.
because we're constantly bombarded with messages about what we should be buying,
Oh, yeah.
how much money we should be making,
Oh,
and
no.
what success should look like.
Yeah, Sethi kind of helps us break free from those societal expectations and,
Yes.
define success on our own terms.
It's about finding that freedom and fulfillment,
Yeah.
not just financial abundance.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about this concept of automation,
Okay.
which keeps coming up.
Yeah.
We touched on this in the first part of our deep dive,
Right.
but I'd love to hear a little bit more about how Sethi actually recommends like setting this up in practice.
Well, he gets super detailed about this in his book.
Okay.
He provides like step-by-step instructions
Mm-hmm.
for automating everything from, bill payments to savings to investments.
Yeah.
It's like having this personalized financial roadmap.
He makes it sound so easy.
He does.
I have to admit, though, like, I'm a little hesitant about this.
Hmm.
I like having control over my finances,
Yeah.
and the thought of, like, putting things on autopilot makes me a little bit nervous.
I can understand that, but think of it this way.
Okay.
You're not relinquishing control. You're actually gaining more control
Okay.
by automating your finances.
Hmm.
You're making sure that your money is always working for you,
Mm-hmm.
even when you're not actively thinking about it.
So it's like having a personal finance assistant
Yes.
working tirelessly behind the scenes.
Exactly. And you're freeing up all that time and mental energy
Yeah.
to focus on other things that matter to you,
Right.
your relationships, your hobbies, or even just, relaxing and enjoying life.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
So how does this, like, actually work? Can you give us some concrete examples?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with bill payments.
Okay.
Most banks and service providers offer the option to set up automatic bill pay.
Mm-hmm.
So you link your accounts, you choose your payment dates,
Yeah.
and you literally never have to worry about missing a deadline again.
No more late fees.
No more late fees, no more scrambling to pay bills at the last minute.
That is a game changer.
It is.
Okay. What about savings?
Savings, you can set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings accounts
Mm-hmm.
on a regular schedule, so say like every payday.
So you're essentially paying yourself first,
Exactly.
which is like a classic personal finance principle.
Yes, before you even have a chance to spend that money,
Yeah.
it's already earmarked for your future goals.
Okay. And the best part is you can adjust like the amount and the frequency of
Oh,
these
yeah.
transfers
As needed.
as needed. Okay. I'm starting to see the appeal of this. What about investing? Can that be automated too?
Absolutely. A lot of investment platforms allow you to set up what are called recurring investments.
Mm-hmm.
So a certain amount of money is automatically invested in your chosen investments
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
So you're basically putting your investing on autopilot,
Exactly.
allowing you to benefit from dollar cost averaging.
Precisely, you're buying those investments at regular intervals,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of market fluctuations,
Right.
which can really help to smooth out your returns over time.
That's a brilliant strategy,
It is.
especially for busy people
Mhm.
who, don't have the time or the expertise to like actively manage their investments.
Exactly. Sethi argues that automation is one of the keys to building wealth
Yeah.
effortlessly.
Effortlessly. I like the sound of that.
And it's not just about saving time and energy.
Yeah.
It's about creating a system that works for you,
Mm-hmm.
even when you're not actively managing it.
So it's not about like losing control.
It's about gaining
It's
control.
about gaining more control by
Yes.
automating your finances.
By making sure that your money is always moving in the right direction
Okay.
toward your goals without you having to constantly monitor and manage it.
So it's almost like having like a financial guardian angel
Yeah.
working behind the scenes for you.
That's a great way to put it.
I love that analogy.
Mhm.
It makes automation seem a lot less intimidating and more like, a powerful tool for achieving financial freedom.
And that's exactly what it is.
Okay, I have to say, you've made me a believer in the power of automation.
Good.
I'm definitely going to explore this.
Awesome. I encourage you
Good
to.
soul.
You might be surprised at how much easier and less stressful
Yeah.
managing your finances can actually be when you
Wow.
kind of put things on autopilot.
This has been such an insightful conversation.
Mm.
I'm already feeling, more confident and empowered to take control of my
That's
finances.
what we want.
And we're not done yet.
We're not done yet.
There's still so much more to explore in Sethi's book.
There is.
Welcome back to the deep dive we've been really digging into. I Will Teach You to Be Rich.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, this book has challenged some of my assumptions about personal finance.
It's definitely thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Sethi isn't afraid to kind of push back on that conventional wisdom
Mm-hmm.
and encourage us to think about money in a new way.
One of the things that really stood out to me was his approach to investing.
Yeah.
He makes a really strong argument for investing in low-cost index funds,
Mhm.
especially for, those of us who aren't financial experts.
Right. It's about taking that long-term kind of passive approach
Yeah.
instead of, trying to time the market or pick individual stocks.
And he talks about the power of compound growth,
Mhm.
how even small amounts invested consistently over time can lead to significant wealth down the road.
It's amazing. And one of his key principles is time in the market beats timing the market.
Yeah.
So it's about staying invested for the long haul,
Mm-hmm.
riding out those inevitable ups and downs,
Right.
and letting your money grow steadily over time.
It's almost like a set it and forget it approach,
Right.
which brings us back to automation,
Exactly.
something that Sethi is clearly very passionate about.
He's a huge believer in automating as much as possible
Hmm.
when it comes to your finances.
We talked about automating things like bill payments and savings,
Mm-hmm.
but can you actually automate investing too?
Absolutely. A lot of investment platforms give you the option to set up recurring investments.
Okay.
So a certain amount is automatically invested, in your chosen funds
Yeah.
on a regular basis, whether that's monthly or quarterly.
So you're essentially putting your investing on autopilot,
Exactly.
which allows you to benefit from dollar cost averaging.
Yeah, you're buying those investments at regular intervals, no matter what the market's doing,
Mm-hmm.
which can help, kind of smooth out your returns over time.
It's such a smart strategy,
It is.
especially for busy people
Yeah.
who don't necessarily have the time or the expertise to, actively manage their investments.
Exactly.
But I think one of the biggest takeaways from Sethi's book
Mm-hmm.
is that personal finance isn't just about the numbers.
Right.
It's about creating a life that you love.
He calls it designing your rich life.
Yeah.
And it's about defining what rich means to you,
Mm-hmm.
not based on, societal expectations or comparisons to other people.
It's about aligning your spending with your values
Mm-hmm.
and prioritizing the things that really truly matter to you,
Yeah.
whether that's travel experiences,
Mhm.
relationships, pursuing your passions.
He wants us to think beyond just financial wealth
Yeah.
and consider all the different aspects of our lives
Hmm.
that contribute to our overall well-being.
And it's a process. There's no like finish line.
It's ongoing.
It's about making those adjustments and refinements as our lives, evolve and our priorities shift.
Absolutely.
One of the things I appreciate about Sethi's approach
Yeah.
is his emphasis on community and support.
Yeah, he talks about that a lot.
We don't have to do this alone.
Mm.
He encourages us to surround ourselves with people who are, positive and supportive,
Yeah.
share our values when it comes to money.
And he also reminds us that, seeking professional help when needed
Mm-hmm.
is a sign of strength, not weakness.
Absolutely.
Whether that's, a financial advisor, a therapist, a trusted friend,
Mm-hmm.
having that support system can make all the difference.
It's huge.
It's about building a network of people
Mm-hmm.
who can, cheer you on, offer advice,
Yeah.
hold you accountable.
It's so important, especially in a world where we're constantly bombarded with messages about, individual achievement and self-reliance.
Yeah, it's like we're all in this together.
We are. And we can achieve more when we support each other.
Absolutely.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground
Yeah.
in our deep dive into I Will Teach You to Be Rich.
A lot of great stuff in this book.
I feel like I have a whole new perspective on personal finance.
I'm glad.
I'm feeling inspired and energized to really, take control
That's what we like to hear.
of my finances and create a life that I truly love.
Sethi's book really is a treasure trove of practical advice,
Yeah.
insightful strategies, mindset shifts
Mm-hmm.
that can help anyone achieve that financial freedom
Absolutely.
and live a richer, more fulfilling life.
So as we wrap up our deep dive, what's like one small step our listeners can take today to start putting these ideas into action?
I would encourage everyone to just take a few minutes to really reflect on their definition of a rich life.
Mm-hmm.
What does that actually mean to you?
Yeah.
And once you have that clear vision,
Yeah.
you can start making those financial decisions
Oh.
that actually support that vision.
And it doesn't have to be this like huge, overwhelming change.
No.
Right? You can start with something small,
Absolutely.
whether that's automating your savings,
Mm-hmm.
negotiating a better rate on your, internet bill or whatever,
Yeah.
or even just investing a small amount in a low-cost index fund.
The key is to just take action
Yeah.
and keep moving forward.
And remember, building wealth isn't just about the numbers.
Right.
It's about creating a life of freedom, abundance, and joy.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And that's something we can all achieve,
We can.
regardless of our starting point.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into I Will Teach You to Be Rich. We hope you found it valuable and inspiring.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
And until next time, keep diving her.